I said get down on your knees! You think you can ignore the HOA rules? You're under our jurisdiction now!
The voice wasn't from a movie. It came from my own driveway. Loud, panicked, real. And if I hadn't caught it on camera, no one would have believed me. Because this wasn't a random prank. It was my own HOA president turning my quiet suburban life into a full-blown power trip. My name's Matt Garrison, 38, software engineer, car enthusiast, and the guy who thought peaceful neighborhoods actually existed. Spoiler alert, they don't. Not when your HOA is run by a woman who treats the neighborhood like her personal kingdom. When I first moved to Willow Glen, it felt like peace. Neat lawns, barbecue smoke, kids on scooters, the American dream. The HOA was background noise, just a few reminder emails about fees. But that peace cracked the day Cheryl Langston became president. You know the type, heels clicking like a metronome of control, clipboard always in hand, smile so sharp it could slice glass. She called it community revitalization. Sounded noble, but once she took over, it looked more like dictatorship. Fees jumped 40%. Porch flags were banned unless she approved. Even wind chimes became noise pollution. Then came the cherry on top. No visible vehicle maintenance. One Saturday, I was under my Toyota's hood, music on, just minding my business. Cheryl strutted up like she owned the street, handed me a yellow violation slip, and said, visible engine parts degrade neighborhood aesthetics. I laughed. She didn't. 2 weeks later, I had 3 citations, a formal warning, and a letter threatening legal action. That's when I decided to push back. I started showing up at meetings, demanding records, calling out her nonsense in writing. Cheryl didn't like that. Flyers with my face showed up in mailboxes labeled neighborhood agitator. Trash mysteriously overturned. Eggs splattered on my garage. Notes appeared on my windshield. Comply or move. And when I confronted her, Cheryl smiled sweetly and said, some people just don't respect order, Matt. If arrogance were oxygen, she'd never suffocate. Then came her masterpiece, the HOA enforcement team. A gang of retirees and wannabe cops with matching polos, clipboards, and fake badges they probably ordered off eBay. They rolled around with flashing blue lights, stopping cars, writing reports, and pretending to keep the peace. But one man took it too far. Derek. Big guy, crew cut, jaw like a cinder block. Cheryl appointed him chief of enforcement. From day one, he was obsessed. Parked outside my house for hours, took photos through my fence. When I told him to leave, he said, keeping the neighborhood safe, sir. Oh, sure. From what, my garden hose? That's when I installed cameras. Front yard, garage, even a hidden one in the mailbox post. Because this drama was heading somewhere dark, and I wanted evidence when it did. Thursday evening, sunset, quiet air, the sound of my car cooling after a drive. Then came the crunch of tires. A white pickup stopped dead in front of my gate, blocking it completely. Big, bold letters across the side. HOA Police. Out stepped Derek, puffed up and proud, with another guy in a matching vest labeled HOA Cop. Evening, Mr. Garrison, Derek said, voice dripping with fake authority. We've had reports of unauthorized materials being transported to your property. We need to search your vehicle immediately. I stared at him. You're not law enforcement. You can't search anything. He smirked. The HOA gives me full jurisdiction to enforce community safety protocols. Jurisdiction? Over what? Garden gnomes? I laughed. My property isn't even part of your HOA, Derek. You touch my car. You're trespassing. His expression hardened. You think you can ignore us? Get down on your knees. And that's when his partner raised a gun. Everything froze. The air, the street, even my heartbeat. I raised my hands. Put that thing down before you make the worst mistake of your life. But Derek shoved me. Hard. My knees hit the concrete as the fake cop hovered over me like this was some official arrest. Search the vehicle, Derek barked. I clenched my jaw. You do that, you're committing felony trespass and unlawful detention. That's prison time. He sneered. You think anyone's going to believe you? Cheryl runs this neighborhood. What he didn't know? 3 cameras were rolling, every second recorded, doorbell cam, garage cam, and one hidden in that mailbox post. And then, in the distance, a faint siren. Derek froze. His partner looked toward the sound. Put the weapon down, a voice thundered. Red and blue lights flooded the street. Real police. The gun hit the ground first. Derek panicked. We're HOA enforcement. This man's resisting inspection. The deputies didn't even flinch. Within seconds, both Derek and his sidekick were face down on the pavement, cuffed tight. Neighbors peeked through curtains, filming with their phones. I stood still, hands raised, adrenaline racing. When the sheriff approached, I said, "You're going to want to see the footage." Because this wasn't HOA business anymore. This was an armed HOA assault. When the cops reviewed the footage, the deputy's eyebrows shot up. "Yeah," he said, "this is felony level stuff. False imprisonment, armed impersonation, federal territory." As Derek was shoved into the patrol car, he yelled, "I was following orders. Cheryl said we had authority." That was the crack in the wall. The next morning, police served a warrant at Cheryl's home. Everything. The fake uniforms, the badges, even the HOA police truck was ordered under her name, paid for with HOA funds. By noon, it hit the local news. HOA president arrested for armed impersonation and misuse of funds. The footage went viral. Derek barking orders, the gun glinting under the streetlight, me calmly reminding them they were committing crimes. The county confirmed what I'd said all along. My property wasn't even in her jurisdiction. Cheryl had been illegally enforcing rules outside HOA boundaries for years. Within a week, the board dissolved. Homeowners got refunds. Cheryl's lawyer tried to cry miscommunication, but the court didn't buy it. She was sentenced to 5 years in prison, plus 3 years supervised release, and ordered to pay $500,000 in restitution. Derek got 3 years and probation, plus firearm safety classes. As for me, I left the cameras on and launched a YouTube channel exposing HOA corruption. Now, when people ask how it all started, I tell them the truth. You don't need to break the law to stand your ground. Just hit record. If you believe karma always finds its way, hit that like button and subscribe, because tomorrow's story proves it even harder.